Hey, greetings, greetings. This is Body-Culinary, wishing you all a great start to your day. So hopefully you put on some good music. If you haven't already got your movement practice in, hopefully you're prepping your food for the day and getting ready to get into your movement practice. So today I'm in the kitchen, and I'm always in what I call kind of like a thought process in the early day. It's my favorite part of the day. So I share certain duties with my sister. So today I got up early, and I'm always sanitizing. I've been sanitizing my food prep area, aka my kitchen, all weekend. So in preparation for some activities. So today she leaves out earlier than me. So I made a big old vat of coconut milk, and one is sweetened, and this one is for me. It's unsweetened, so you can see the cream. It has gone all the way up to the top. But this is all homemade, no sweeteners, no nothing added to it. If anything, sometimes I'll use some fresh fruit to sweeten it. So I don't need any agave or honey or any of those things. And then also I made a big old vat of tea. So that's nice and hot. So I ground up fresh cardamom and ginger. So I really like chai spices. And also I make a really nice Bajan live porridge. It's called live porridge. So I put some of the Malay apple that I got from the market. So some of the Malay apple is in there that I cut it up, and I'm soaking it in the Jamaican lime and papaya. So I'm put that in a nice, really pretty spill-proof container that's see-through, so you can see all the fruit that's cut up. I just cut up a fresh pineapple. So inside of my compost bin, which I fill up every day and have to empty it out. So I was sanitizing that this weekend. So it's a lot going on, and I managed to get our green juice / smoothie in. So I gave her all of hers. If you know that you're really busy and you don't always make the time to cut up greens, sometimes you're exhausted by the time you get home in the evening, you can feel free to get in a green smoothie in the early part of the day. My green smoothie quite often is not sweetened. So there's different levels to this, but you can get a rhythm and you get in order to things. So all that to say, and just one last thing, I got some of my cucumbers from somebody different this week, and the cucumber skin looks a little different. So I don't know, it looks like they could have put some wax on it, like I know my cucumbers. So I'm gonna peel these. Quite often they're not waxed from the farm that I get them from. So I'm gonna peel these off. And I'm gonna mix it also with some callaloo that I got from the farmer's market. So I figured I'd bring you in here for a quick little chit chat and some motivation. Right? Because, that's the feedback I get. A lot of folks say that, and I know people could use more motivations. I'm sure if I came over to your house and we were jumping on a trampoline together and dancing together and working out and sharing food, it would be a no-brainer. So I just bring you into the food prep area with me for some motivation. So I'm using my Swiss peeler. So something I was thinking about and reasoning with this early day, especially as I think about sharing duties with folks. One is preparing the food. Many people complain about time, and I do understand a busy schedule, especially if you're a parent. But even if you're not a parent, the amount of hours that people are working, whether you're working for yourself or an employer, it's a long day. So people want shortcuts. So I'll just say that prepping this food, it can take as long or as short as you need it to be, and it will fluctuate on different days. There's some days I may not be as hungry, but more so than just thinking about the food, I'm thinking about making sure I get sufficient nutrition into my system. So I know for me, that's going to include my greens, things like my essential fats, right? Or fats that the body doesn't produce. So I know I'm using my chia seeds and my flax seeds, whether that's a shake, whether that's a wrap in my different recipes. So I have a whole channel and thought process I'm on. But some people just wanted to be quick, and I kind of think that you don't have to put any work in. So although it can be convenient, I don't have to use a whole bunch of dishwashing liquid and clean a whole bunch of frying pans and stuff like that. It's a trade-off, right? It does require some participation. So some things that you can do if you have a sister friend or your spouse, or maybe your children or young people on board, you can share some of the duties, like or some of the tasks, like maybe peeling or cutting certain things, Um, if you have a salad spinner, you can wash certain greens and make sure that you really spin them all the way dry. So that will bring your food costs down, but that does require work. So I find that when it comes to your movement practice and exercise, those are the things that people usually avoid. Like there's a mental resistance to doing that kind of work, which is interesting how we've been conditioned. I think we're so anxious to make money, make money, and be here and be seen that it doesn't seem as appealing mentally. The time to take to prep the fruits and vegetables and clean your kitchen. People say that takes too much time. I think what I've done over, not I think I've, what I observed that I've done over years is I swapped out the time. So what I mean by that is I've always been for years, decades. I love preparing food and, I see all this DIY stuff, but that's something I've been doing for years, making oils and body scrubs and food. So quite often people would just come over to my house. I remember when I used to make all of these pies, and people sometimes would come to my door with a bag of apples, just knowing we'd be in the food in the kitchen and food prep area, and I would just make a pie. Sometimes can get out of control too, because then people always expect you to make a pie and they got to stick around to wash the dishes and so on. But I say that to say when people or my friends and my homies would come over to my house, I was always in the food prep area and making food and sharing a meal and sending people home with a meal. It's like a rhythm. It's something that's so natural to me. So I desire that. That's much more fulfilling to me than going out to a restaurant. And I have been to lots of restaurants as a chef, as someone that loves food. I've been to a lot of restaurants, but my goal is always for my food to taste better and for my experience to be better. I want that high-end experience in terms of presentation, but also it's the love and the attention that I'm putting into the food. I get great pleasure out of sharing my food with other people and watching the smile on their face and knowing that it's healthy and knowing they're gonna, have smooth, a digestive system after. So that's part of it that's fulfilling. And the self-care element. I think that sometimes that's what's missing. Kind of like if you think of your food as being produced in a factory and the people just throwing the food around and there's no care to the food. I'm not into the mukajuk, right? But that is an energy on the food. And when you know that someone has put that kind of energy into the food, or you serve a plate with some mint or some herbs from the garden, and there's a smile that's usually on somebody's face when you serve that to them and you take the time to put in a nice glass, and then especially when it tastes good, and if you're still learning, my neighbor's dogs. If you're still learning, understand that, it's okay to quote unquote fail or fail forward. Perhaps maybe all of your meals may not taste delicious as you're learning to balance out the flavors, but that's totally okay, because that's how you're going to learn is from that feedback. If you learn how to tweak the textures and your knife skills. So it's an art. I would have to say it's really, really good quality time with yourself. So I can really get lost and meditative in the time. Either I have music on, or sometimes in the early day, it's just so quiet. It's just a peace. And so, I like to take my bath or my shower and oil myself. And I come into the food prep area, I'll burn some sage, just a little sage, my little rituals. But the time that I'm spending in the food prep area is such good quality time spent with yourself. Even when I think of, every now and then when someone says, your skin looks good, when I know what my skin has looked like the sidewalk. And I would say recently, in the last couple of weeks, I had a couple of pimples, I think from putting more oil in my hair, not sleeping as much. It's life, but I have more confidence now. I don't panic like I used to and know that it will clear up because of the foods that I'm eating. So it's a lifestyle. You can relax. So the food is not something that I worry about, having to start all over again and to make the decision. I'm going to compost these cucumber scraps. Making the decision to start yet again all over, making the decision to eat healthy can be kind of mentally debilitating. So the more you have fun and you're excited, like I'm excited around self-care. I love oiling my body. I love, finding different simple ways to wear my hair because it's my hair. I feel good that I don't have to put on makeup because my skin is healthy underneath. And most of all, it's nice. I put together some really nice food for my sister today. And I know we got greens in, and she had a shake has chia seeds in, it, and I have my coconut milk. So I do make the food more often, every couple of days. But all that to say, if we can just mentally wrap our minds around and accept the work, it's worth it. If you can share the work with a friend or a family member, it'll take you time to get a rhythm. But if you just get on the channel of self-care, it's fun, it's a quiet meditative time with yourself. I think you can find it enjoyable. I know I do. So I just wanted to share that with you this morning for those folks that are early risers and that are up in the early day. Um, Share this video with someone that you know is always saying that they know they need to change the way that they eat, and they're looking for some motivation and some inspiration. So this is I think, a good use of the internet, and a way that I leave information behind for sister friends, family members, and people that are always asking questions. So on that note, subscribe to the channel. Check me out on Facebook, and also on Instagram, where I leave nuggets of information on all of those mediums. All right, folks, create a great day on purpose, and I'll see you soon in the next video.